Here's a shocking truth that no one talks about. After 40, your body starts working against you when it comes to losing belly fat. But here's what's even more shocking. It's not your fault, and it's not because you're getting older. It's because of 5 specific hormonal changes happening inside your body right now that are literally programming your cells to store fat around your midsection. But what if I told you that once you understand these 5 hormonal secrets, you can actually turn your body into a fat-burning machine again, even if you're over 40, 50, or 60? Stay with me because in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly how your hormones are sabotaging your efforts and give you the precise blueprint to take back control. Welcome back to How to Be Fit, where we break down the science of fitness and health in ways that actually make sense for real people living real lives. I'm your host, Lana, and today we're diving deep into something that affects millions of people, but rarely gets the attention it deserves. If you're over 40 and you've noticed that stubborn belly fat just won't budge no matter how hard you diet or exercise, this video is specifically for you. And if you're approaching 40, consider this your early warning system and prevention guide. Here's what we know from the latest research. Your metabolism doesn't just slow down after 40 because of age. That's actually a myth. Your metabolism changes because of specific hormonal shifts that happen in your body, and these shifts create a perfect storm for belly fat accumulation. The good news? Once you understand exactly what's happening and why, you can work with your hormones instead of against them. Today, I'm going to share 5 hormonal secrets that most people don't know about. But once you implement them, you'll see why some people seem to effortlessly maintain their figure after 40, while others struggle. We're going to cover everything from the insulin resistance trap that 90% of people fall into, to the cortisol cycle that's keeping you stressed and storing fat, to the surprising role of growth hormone that most people completely overlook. Let's start with the big one, insulin. Now, I want you to think of insulin as your body's storage manager. When you're young, this manager is really efficient. Food comes in, insulin quickly decides what goes where, and everything runs smoothly. But after 40, something changes. Your cells start becoming resistant to insulin signals. It's like your storage manager is knocking on the door of your cells saying, "Hey, I've got some glucose here for energy," but your cells are responding with, "Sorry, we're closed." So what happens? Your pancreas says, "Well, if they can't hear us, let's knock louder," and starts producing more insulin. Now you have high levels of insulin floating around in your blood, and here's the kicker. Insulin is a storage hormone. When insulin levels are high, your body is in storage mode, not burning mode. And where does your body love to store fat when insulin is chronically elevated? Right around your midsection. This is why you can be eating the same foods you ate at 25, but suddenly your belly is expanding. But here's the secret that changes everything. You can restore your insulin sensitivity through strategic eating patterns. I'm not talking about complicated diets or cutting out entire food groups. I'm talking about timing. One of the most powerful tools is something called time-restricted eating. When you give your body 14 to 16 hours without food, your insulin levels drop significantly. During this time, your cells actually become more sensitive to insulin again. It's like giving your storage manager a break so he can come back refreshed and efficient. Here's a practical example. If you finish dinner at 7 p.m., don't eat again until 9 or 11 a.m. the next day. During this window, your body shifts from storage mode to burning mode. Your insulin drops, and your body starts accessing stored fat for energy. The second part of the secret is understanding which foods spike insulin the most. Refined carbohydrates and sugars cause massive insulin spikes. But here's what's interesting. Protein also raises insulin, but it doesn't cause fat storage the same way, because protein requires energy to process. So your first hormonal secret action step is this. Implement a 14 to 16 hour eating window. And when you do eat, prioritize protein and fiber-rich foods that won't cause massive insulin spikes. The second hormonal secret revolves around cortisol, and this one might surprise you because it's not just about stress. It's about the type of stress and when that stress happens. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone, and it's actually essential for life. The problem isn't cortisol itself, it's chronic, unmanaged cortisol that creates what I call the cortisol belly. Here's how this works. When cortisol is chronically elevated, it literally tells your body to store fat around your midsection. But why the belly specifically? Because abdominal fat cells have more cortisol receptors than fat cells anywhere else on your body. So when cortisol is high, your belly fat cells are basically getting a direct message to grow and multiply. Now, most people think the solution is just to reduce stress, but that's only half the equation. The real secret is understanding your cortisol rhythm and working with it instead of against it. Your cortisol naturally follows a pattern throughout the day. It should be highest in the morning to wake you up and give you energy, then gradually decline throughout the day so you can sleep at night. But after 40, this rhythm often gets disrupted. Here's what happens: chronic stress, poor sleep, irregular eating patterns, and even over-exercising can cause your cortisol to be high when it should be low and low when it should be high. This disrupted rhythm is directly linked to increased belly fat storage. But here's the secret: you can reset your cortisol rhythm through strategic lifestyle modifications. Morning sunlight exposure within the first hour of waking helps establish a healthy cortisol peak. This signals to your body that it's time to be alert and energized. Evening routines are equally important. Blue light from screens in the evening keeps cortisol elevated when it should be dropping. Creating a wind-down routine without screens for at least an hour before bed helps cortisol naturally decline. Exercise timing also matters. High-intensity exercise late in the evening can spike cortisol and disrupt your rhythm. But moderate exercise earlier in the day actually helps regulate cortisol patterns. Here's a fascinating study. Researchers found that people who did just 20 minutes of deep breathing exercises daily for 8 weeks saw significant reductions in cortisol levels and belly fat circumference. The key was consistency. It wasn't about perfection, it was about daily practice. Your second hormonal secret action step: establish a consistent sleep-wake cycle. Get morning sunlight and practice a stress reduction technique for at least 10 minutes daily. This third secret is probably the least talked about, but potentially the most powerful: growth hormone optimization. Most people think growth hormone is just for bodybuilders or anti-aging clinics, but it's actually one of your most important fat-burning hormones. Growth hormone is like your body's renovation crew. It repairs tissues, builds muscle, and most importantly for our discussion today, it mobilizes fat for energy. The problem is that growth hormone production naturally declines after 30, and by the time you're 40, you might be producing 50% less than you did in your 20s. But here's the secret that most people don't know. You can naturally boost your growth hormone production by up to 500% through specific lifestyle strategies. The first strategy is sleep optimization. About 75% of your daily growth hormone is released during deep sleep, specifically during the first few hours of sleep. This is why people who consistently get poor sleep struggle so much with body composition after 40. But it's not just about sleep duration, it's about sleep quality. Going to bed with elevated blood sugar significantly reduces growth hormone release. This is why eating late, especially carbohydrates, can sabotage your fat loss efforts, even if you're in a calorie deficit. The second strategy is exercise selection. While all exercise can boost growth hormone, certain types are far more effective. High-intensity interval training and resistance training cause significant spikes in growth hormone that can last for hours after your workout. But here's the key: it's not about exercising harder, it's about exercising smarter. A 20-minute high-intensity session can produce more growth hormone than a 60-minute moderate session. Fasting also plays a role here. During fasting periods, growth hormone can increase by 300 to 500%. This is your body's way of preserving muscle mass while mobilizing fat for energy. It's actually a survival mechanism that we can use to our advantage. Here's a practical protocol. Stop eating 3 hours before bed, get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, and incorporate 2 to 3 high-intensity training sessions per week. This combination can dramatically increase your natural growth hormone production. Your third hormonal secret action step: prioritize sleep quality, stop eating 3 hours before bed, and incorporate high-intensity exercise 2 to 3 times per week. The fourth hormonal secret involves your thyroid, and this one is crucial because your thyroid essentially controls your metabolic rate. Think of your thyroid as the thermostat of your metabolism. It determines how fast or slow your body burns calories. After 40, thyroid function often starts to decline, but here's what's tricky. It might decline so gradually that you don't notice it at first. You might just feel a little more tired, a little colder, notice your hair isn't as thick, or see that stubborn weight gain around your midsection. Standard blood tests often miss subclinical thyroid issues. Your doctor might say your thyroid levels are normal, but normal doesn't mean optimal. There's a big difference between functioning and functioning optimally. Your thyroid produces several hormones, but the two most important for fat loss are T3 and T4. T4 is the inactive form, and T3 is the active form that actually speeds up your metabolism. Many people after 40 have problems converting T4 to T3, which means even if their T4 levels look good on paper, they're not getting the metabolic benefits. Here's the secret. You can support healthy thyroid function through targeted nutrition and lifestyle modifications. Selenium, zinc, and iodine are essential for thyroid hormone production. But more importantly, chronic calorie restriction and overexercising can suppress thyroid function. This is why extreme diets often backfire after 40. When you drastically cut calories, your thyroid responds by slowing down your metabolism to preserve energy. It's a survival mechanism, but it works against your fat loss goals. The solution is metabolic flexibility, eating enough to support thyroid function while still creating the conditions for fat loss. This often means eating more than you think you should, especially protein and healthy fats. Temperature regulation is another clue. If you're always cold, especially your hands and feet, it might indicate suboptimal thyroid function. Cold exposure therapy, like cold showers or ice baths, can actually stimulate thyroid hormone production. Stress management comes back into play here because chronic stress suppresses thyroid function. Remember our cortisol discussion? High cortisol directly interferes with thyroid hormone production and conversion. Your fourth hormonal secret action step: ensure adequate protein intake, manage stress levels, and consider cold exposure therapy to support healthy thyroid function. The fifth and final hormonal secret involves sex hormones, testosterone and estrogen, and their dramatic impact on body composition after 40. For both men and women, these hormonal changes create specific challenges. Men experience declining testosterone, which leads to increased belly fat and decreased muscle mass. Women going through perimenopause and menopause face declining estrogen and progesterone, which can cause weight gain, especially around the midsection. But here's the secret. It's not just about the decline in these hormones, it's about the ratio and balance between them. When sex hormones decline, your body becomes more sensitive to insulin and cortisol, magnifying their fat-storing effects. The good news is that resistance training can help maintain healthy hormone levels. Compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, and presses naturally boost testosterone production and help maintain muscle mass, which keeps your metabolism higher. Sleep quality once again plays a crucial role. Poor sleep dramatically reduces testosterone production in men and disrupts the delicate hormonal balance in women. Your fifth hormonal secret action step: incorporate resistance training 2 to 3 times per week, focusing on compound movements, and prioritize sleep quality to support healthy sex hormone production. Here's what I want you to understand. Losing belly fat after 40 isn't about willpower or finding the perfect diet. It's about working with your hormones instead of against them. These 5 hormonal secrets: insulin sensitivity, cortisol rhythm, growth hormone optimization, thyroid support, and sex hormone balance, work together as a system. You don't have to perfect all of them at once. Start with 1 or 2 that resonate most with you and build from there. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. The goal is sustainable changes that you can maintain for years, not quick fixes that last for weeks. If this video helped you understand why your body has been working against you and gave you a clear path forward, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these 5 secrets surprised you the most. And if you're ready to take action, hit that like button to let me know this was valuable, and make sure to subscribe to How to Be Fit and ring that notification bell because we're just getting started. I've got more science-backed strategies coming your way that will help you build the strong, healthy body you deserve at any age. Your body is capable of incredible things regardless of your age. It's time to stop fighting against it and start working with it. I'll see you in the next video, where we're diving deep into the exact meal timing strategies that support all 5 of these hormonal pathways. Until then, remember, you've got this, and your best years are still ahead of you.